What's going on, Jerome's? Tomorrow, the Minnesota Vikings finish out the preseason with a stupid game against the stupid Eagles, and 53-man rooster cutdowns and practice squad arrangements are right around the corner. So this is one last chance for romance. Plus, no starter's going to play, so it's a chance for the 2s and the 3s and the 4s to really make one final impression. And it's important because a big time game in the final preseason stanza shows hot, good tape out there in a game situation. That can mean the difference between making a practice squad next year on the 90-man, and the next year maybe make the 53 versus you go. Better start learning Canadian, buddy. So Kwesi's gonna have some decisions to make. Also, the Eagles. I've had a poopy night, and I hate the effing Eagles, man. That's it. Also, it is Vikings. Purple for the win. Drinkware, the purpley. That's right. It's on right now this weekend. 50% off the drinkware if you use promo code WEBACK. So you get the production value. You can get the he sees you when you're pooping. Focus. I don't know how cameras work. Anyways, we live in a simulation. Get yourself some mugs. Hey, really, really, really old OG Jeromes, like they know that we used to start out every video in the morning with a little sip. Now it's a little. Nah, maybe not. Anyways, drinkware on sale this weekend. Make producer Hallie happy and get all the mugs. Start a mug club. Anyway, here's 12 Vikings who need themselves a big time performance on Saturday. Now, it's not so much a. Actually, this is a you need to save your bacon situation, whether it's on the 53, whether it's on the practice squad, etc. And no particular order, this just is going down the depth chart. Number 1, Jaren Hall. So jumping Jaren Hall has Matt Corral nipping at his heels. Now, Corral's actually had some practices, so we'll see. Now, Corral, 3rd-round pick back in the day, and I think that he, on its face, probably has more talent than Jaren Hall, but Hall has been in the system. He fits with what Kevin O'Connell wants to do, but is that going to be enough to turn away from the upside of a guy like Matt Corral? Now, Hall, obviously would be the better quarterback 3 to start the season if the Vikings got to that situation, and Hall could be on the practice squad since emergency QB rules say, since they changed last year, that your QB3 can be on the practice squad. But I don't know, like, it's a spot where, Jaren Hall had a really nice game against the Browns, but if he can replicate that against the Eagles, great. If not, because he's going to start, probably going to play the bulk of the first half, if not more. If he doesn't look like he's all that, I mean, the Vikings may roll a Corral. The Vikings may make some moves, maybe picking up a guy like Dorian Thompson-Robinson, maybe making a small trade at 53-man cutdowns. Who knows? So this is a big game and a big first half for Jaren Hall because, again, he could stick as quarterback 3, and I still think that Jaren Hall's upside could be the long-term backup for J.J. McCarthy, right? So Jaren Hall, 26, and he's been in the system, and Kevin O'Connell likes him, and once Darnold is gone, once Mullins is gone, like Jaren Hall could be QB2. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Next up, number 2, running back Mo Ibrahim. Now, yes, he was literally just signed yesterday, all right, and he's coming off a very severe injury with that hip dislocation. So who knows what that's going to look like? But obviously, passes physical, and the Vikings are certainly interested. And he's probably going to get some run in this game with the starters out. So Jones, Chandler, I would think that they would sit King Kene. Like, Kene showed you everything that you needed to see against the Browns. Dwayne McBride's been dinged. Well, maybe they'll play Kene just so they can have 3 running backs. But McBride's been dinged up, so who knows if he's going to play. Right knee was wrapped up at practice on Thursday. But Myles Gaskin, I mean, the veteran can do it all. I would just say, just throw Mo out there just to see what he can do. Like, just give him the basic package. He can take it from there. He doesn't give you much in terms of pass blocking. So, hell, just have Gaskin and Mo. Just go. Protect Kincaid since he's your number 1 kick returner anyway. But I mean, Mo, it's a spot where McBride could potentially be on injured reserve. Maybe he's one of the guys that they designate to return at 53-man cutdowns, and Mo could find his way onto the practice squad, and that could be getting some valuable reps and some attention as he moves forward with his career. Gophers legend, love him, man. Number 3. Who? Deshaun Jones. So Jones, I think, is firmly on the 53-man bubble. So Jefferson, Addison, Naylor, Powell. I think those are locks. I think Tristan Jackson has made a very strong case for the 53. Trent Sherfield, I think, has made a good case for the 53, and the coaches really love his run blocking. Actually, I don't know if Powell's a lock. He probably is, but you never know. And if the Vikings keep 6 on the 53, that would leave Deshaun Jones out in the cold. Now, I think Jones, at minimum, is going to be bound for the practice squad, but do the Vikings think that they would be worried about another team grabbing him? I mean, obviously, there was demand for him as a priority UDFA since the Vikings gave him $225K guaranteed, but a big-time game could cement himself on the 53, maybe send a guy like Trent Sherfield down to the practice squad. Next, tight end N'Keal Harris. So N'Keal's actually been working quite a bit with the second team offense, and they've been running some 2 tight ends, and even in 11 personnel, he's been out there, and he will be interesting. Obviously, the former receiver, big bodied guy. If you run 11 personnel with him, obviously it's a passing situation, but you basically have 4 wide receivers out there. But so Hawkinson's still on the pup. Oliver and Munt are obviously safe. I think Nick Muse makes the 53. But then you got guys like Samus Reyes, Robert Tonyan, who's been hurt, and Neil Johnson just got here, and Trey Knox was waived with the injury designation. So N'Keal has a chance to push for the practice squad, and I think with a solid showing on Saturday, I think that he'll do that. Next up, 2 offensive linemen, Tyrese Robinson and Michael Juergens. Now, the Vikings aren't going to start any starters, so that means Ed Ingram is probably sitting. I would say get him some reps, but nah. And also Reisner and Diamond Dan Feeney have been hurt, so T-Rob and Juergens, T-Rob and Juergens might play most of the game. And Robinson, I like a lot. I think that he might be pushing for the 53, pending on, maybe they put Feeney on a short-term IR. Who knows? Maybe same thing with Reisner. But T-Rob, he looks the part. He's got the size. Pride of Oklahoma. I actually really like Tyrese Robinson, man. I like a number of the Vikings reserve offensive linemen. Walter Rouse, Tyrese Robinson. Juergens, I like a lot, but it's been sort of hit or miss. But obviously, they're committed to him. They love giving him reps. Wouldn't be shocked if he plays the bulk of the game on Saturday, maybe up to 3/4. Henry Bird as well as Matt Cindric back in the mix, probably get some run at center a little bit later on. But, Juergens, I think should be on the 53, but if he gets down to the practice squad, probably wouldn't shock me at all. But we'll see what happens if he puts up a big-time performance. Number 7, Taki Taimani. Now, I think that his spot on the 53 is solid, since he really is, besides Manoa, like the true blue nose tackle out there. But do the Vikings keep 6 or 7 defensive linemen on the 53? It's going to be close. I think that basically he and Jaquelin Roy are competing for one spot, because I think if they keep 6, Tillery, Phillips, Bullard are starters. Jonah Williams has earned it. Levi Drake Rodriguez has obviously earned it. That's why he's not even on this list. Hell, he might not even play on Saturday. Who knows? But Jaquelin and Tamani may be going for that final 53 spot, and the loser goes to the practice squad. It's certainly a spot like that. And Jaquelin, so just looking for consistency, because he shows up in some big-time spots, and then other times, he's getting bowled over by Zamir White against the Raiders. So, Jaquelin had high hopes. He's sort of been lost in the shuffle a little bit, but, one last big-time game on tape would be good. Number 9, outside linebacker Andre Carter. Now, you could put any of the edge rushers out here. So I think that AVG, Grenard, Turner, Jones are solid, if they don't trade Jones. I think those 4 are solid. I think Hottie Ward is probably going to be in the mix as well. They like him a lot. Gabe Murphy, they still like, even though he's been hurt and out of sight, out of mind. They gave him the big-time guarantee. So Richter, Carter, and Porter. I understand that Richter, big fan here, as well as a big fan. Fans are big fans of his, but the beat writers aren't sold that Richter's going to be on the 53. They're sort of split on if he's going to be there and if he would clear waivers. I don't think that he would. I think that he's just shown enough juice that he would be picked up. Although he was undrafted, despite putting up huge numbers at Air Force, and also there wasn't a land rush for his services. Like I believe he only got like $50K guaranteed for a UDFA. So maybe not. It might have been less than that. But Carter II, last year's UDFA, who got himself a big-time guarantee, quietly has been doing the work, and I think it's been looking good. And they did have him on the 53 last year. We'll see if they do that again this year. Next. Number 10, linebacker Dallas Gant. So you could also list Brian Asamoah here as well. So the Vikings are 3 locks at off-ball. Pace, Cashman, Grugier, Hill. Right? And Asamoah and Dallas Gant are competing for the same spot. I think the Vikings keep 4 on the 53. They'll keep 1 on the practice squad. I think Kunazik is gone. But Dallas Gant, 96, has been all over the place, man. I love watching him play, and he was one of the guys I liked in the process because he played some great special teams at Ohio State. He was a dynamo off-ball at Toledo, and he's showing up and showing out, man. Like, he shows a lot of heart. Love his movement skills. Love his instincts. So, I mean, with Asamoah's been hot and cold. Like, yeah, he should have had that safety against the Browns. But I don't know, man. Like, honestly, if you took the draft status off of both of them and you took away Asamoah's 3rd-round status and Gant's UDFA, I think blind taste test, like, Dallas Gant has played better. Although, yes, Asamoah gets the 2s, Gant gets the 3s, but lastly, 2 to go, both in the secondary. Carry on my Jayward son and Lewis Cine. Now, this may have gotten less complicated because Najee Thompson went on season-ending injured reserve, passed through waivers. So it's not so much that he would have contributed as a defender, but I think that frees up a 53-man spot, which obviously would have gone to Najee. So Cine had himself a fantastic game against the Browns, and Theo Jackson so they moved him back out to corner, and has been like 2nd and 3rd team outside corner, and he hasn't been great. Like Carry On My Jayward Son has not been ideal, so I don't know what's going to happen here, right? So it could come down to this, who has himself a big time game, and also all these other guys too, like showing up and showing out, not just for the Vikings, but for other teams as well, for other 53-man spots, passing through waivers, practice squads, etc., or potential trade value. I mean, Lewis Cine, of course, in Philly, ironically, where Howie Roseman loves him some former Georgia guys. So, and also Howie's not afraid to make trades for just name value guys, hence picking up Jahan Dotson. But I think that Cine, right now, I would give Cine the 53 spot if available over Jay Ward. Carry On My Jayward Son just has not been overly impressive, and they are pretty redundant in terms of special teams play. So I would give it to Cine right now, just not because of the guaranteed money or the draft status, but because I think that he's been a better player in aggregate so far. But that's it. 12. Dose. Players who need themselves a big-time game on Saturday to have some staying power. Let us know your thoughts. Our thoughts, comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.